If you ended up here because you saw building your own shadow box with CoinRack video and you wanted to see how I built the contents of the box, then you're watching the right video. So let's follow along. Before we begin, I did want to point out that the area behind the coin rack was simply felt with no foam board behind it. I took some Gorilla Glue, the spray can type, and sprayed it directly onto the hardboard. And then I laid down a cut piece of black felt. This would be the backdrop of the coin rack. Earlier, when I cut off the end of the thinner piece of wood I used on the bottom of the coin rack, it left me with a small 6-inch scrap piece. Instead of throwing that away, I decided to use that for the backs of the plaque displays. I took it to the bandsaw and ripped it directly in half. Originally, I planned on placing a small nameplate on the front of the box, but I gave the owner an option to go with a little bit of a larger one inside, and she chose the inside one. So for that one, I took another scrap piece and cut it down to 2 inches by 2 inches and then ripped it in half as well. Now I have a bunch of these little blanks that I can burn with a laser, but that is a whole nother video. So let's stick with the backings. So I took all the pieces and then I found myself a dime, and I used it to trace around each corner on each piece. And what I'm hoping here is that I get a smooth transition from flat edge to flat edge. That'll give it a more elegant look instead of just having pointy corners. Now I would actually recommend against using a jigsaw or actually a bandsaw here. And what you want to do is just take it to a sanding wheel and slowly spin it and burn down until you reach the pencil line. And then just keep it until you get to the flat edge. This will keep your transition really smooth and round looking. And you just keep doing this all the way around each piece. Once you have rounded down all your corners, go back to your plates and make sure that everything looks good within those corners. When it comes to sanding, we're not going to spend a lot of time because nobody will be touching these. And also, you want your plaques to stick to them really well. So what I want to do is just take 220 and sand them really well. This way they'll hold stain well, they'll hold the gloss well, and the plaques won't come off of them. Make sure you take the time to sand the sides of each piece as well, because they will be seen, and you might have left some burn marks on them from the sanding wheel. First off, let me apologize for the bad video here. I didn't realize my camera's so out of focus. But what I did is I drilled tiny little holes. I took some brad nails and then I cut them in half. But I left the heads on, and I took the heads and I put them in the little holes on the back of each plaque, and then I just super glued them in. And what I'm doing here is taking a Dremel, and where I cut the nail in half, I'm resharpening it to have a pointy head. And so basically I've just created pins in the back of each plaque so I can push them into my display board. Next, just pull out your stain, the one you used on the original shadow box, and just stain each piece. Make sure you get the sides as well. I just use paper towels here so I can throw it away. But also put down a towel so you don't damage your pins on the back side. If you want to do it over an actual foam board, you could do that as well. Stick it into the foam board and then actually stain it so you don't damage the pins. Okay, so I was laying everything out, and at this point, because I know it's small detail, I wanted to see how it looked in the camera, and that's when I actually realized, holy cow, I'm out of focus, and I fixed it for you. So I know I've always told you that I'm impatient and I want to get a project done once I start it. So at this point I pull off the plaques and I check to see if the stain is dry enough to go ahead and start clear coating. So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm actually trying to dry out the wood as best I can so I can start the clear coat process. So there's nothing special going on right here. I just buy the Home Depot store-bought enamel, clear enamel, or most people like to call it clear coat, and I just put on actually 3 coats. I put on a real thin first coat, let that dry because I know some of the stain is probably still wet. Then I came back with a second coat, and then probably this whole process took about 30 to 45 minutes. So before I start pressing these into the display board, I wanted to do a check to make sure my pins weren't going to go all the way through and break. And as you can see, I've got 2 pieces of foam board glued together, and my nails only go through 1.5 portions of it. So I'm pretty good here. So I simply take 2-sided tape, I put it on the back, I pull it off, and then I try to center my pieces. Now I do have to say that I actually did wait for the clear coat to dry really well, because you don't want to try to apply your 2-sided tape while it's still wet. I don't know, it might even help it stick to it when it does dry, but I think it would keep it from drying. So I gave that a good hour before I actually put down the 2-sided tape and stuck it to the wood. And I bought my 2-sided tape offline. I think I just got it at Amazon. And this stuff is really, really thin. And you're probably thinking, why didn't I just stick it to the backs of the plaques and put them right onto the display board? And you really can do that, but I prefer to actually have the wood that matches the frame of the box in there, so it looks much more elegant with the plaques. Now if you were to actually only use the 2-sided tape and you went ahead and put it down, once it's down, you're done. That thing is in place. But because I put it on the wood and the wood is actually on pins, when I'm actually sorting out this board and trying to figure out where everything should go and its placement, I can constantly move the ones with the pins. So I can just pull up each board, place it in a new position if I don't like the one I've placed it in. And I actually did that a few times with this case. With most military items, they all have pins on the back, so you can simply take off the frogs and push the pins directly into the display board. And that's why I build it this way. With other items such as the patches, you can just use straight pins at angles, holds everything tight, and you have plenty of display board to push into. And before you seal up the box, always take the time to do one more lint check. Just grab some painter's tape, wrap it around your fingers, touch up the board, make sure you have all the lint off before you seal the box up. And basically that's how I put everything together inside this box. Then I just sealed it up. I probably didn't show you that I taped the back of the flag so it wouldn't fall out if you actually pulled off the back of the display board. But I did, and I've done that in a couple other videos that you've probably seen. So all in all, not really too hard to make the box look a little more elegant than just sticking plaques in there. So I think it turned out really nice. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, and if you watch this hidden video, I already know you're a subscriber, so thanks.